Big shot to shout of Maurice, man, my brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
But either way, the sit-ups are something that you can do. I would only do, to me, what I would call crunches. Maybe some 1/4 inch crunches, maybe a 1/4 inch off the ground. And then if you wanted to, move up to do some 1/4 inches from the top down. I'm not sure about the full motion from bottom to top. So if it's 3 levels of sit-ups, one could be a couple of inches from the ground or from the floor. And then the next step could be a middle level where you're doing inch crunches. And then the top level, almost a sitting up form of that. And then you could just drop back to each step and go from there. But this is my idea for those that do not have weights at this point and you're in off season and you want to get a jump on conditioning. If you have the ability to go into a backyard, a front yard, driveway or something, or a park, I would work on form running, sprints, takeoffs, striding out. Do yourself, I'm dead serious, doing about 100 sprints, 5 to 10 yards. If you want to increase it, this is building your endurance. This is building your speed when you're using your form. By stretching and striding out, you're increasing your speed. Now, this is one of the tremendous advantages that the South has over the North. So if you're in the northern region of the country, take this video and use it. Do the steps that I mentioned. You have to get out on a daily basis. If it's cold outside, put on some boots, some gloves. Go out there and get you some striding in. Some sprints. This is a good way to show up at football camp in some form of shape already. So, that's all I want to do for this particular video. It's called Conditioning, and hopefully with Coach Parker's assistance, the great Coach Parker in Ohio, somebody hire him as either your head coach, your strength and conditioning coach, your defensive coordinator, something. And if he want to do offense, offensive coordinator. He's that cold. So Coach Parker, let us know. Give us a few tips in the notes there, comment section, what they can do if they do not have jump ropes possibly. I know you do some things with ropes. If they don't have any gadgets or instruments that they can use and still have an advantage in the off season to be successful. All right, I love you guys very much. Stay strong. Hey, in this episode of The Best Coach, I want to talk about conditioning. Conditioning. Now, conditioning is being in shape. Now, for me, I like to talk about push-ups. So, to me personally, doing push-ups is all you need. Some people lift weights. Push-ups are good for covering all parts of the body, making your body stronger, using your own weight to create muscle mass, create good breathing habits. I think push-ups, if you do not have, for those that, let me just talk for a few minutes to either young people. I don't know what y'all think, and this probably is a question mark or something up in the air. how young or how old should you be before you start lifting weights? Because there's a growth thing that can possibly be stunted if you're doing a number of compilation of weightlifting early. So, conditioning. When I was younger as a child, and a very young man, high school age or less, we played outside. And we ran around a lot. And that was natural conditioning. For the kids that may or may not have any weights because you cannot afford them, push-ups was something that was always affordable. Now, if you want to talk about a person who has no arms or has one arm and you're trying to make a joke, I understand what you mean by believing that if they don't have any arms, then how can they do push-ups? But if we're going to be mature about the situation and understand that whatever God gave you as a gift, you need to use it. If we don't have something, then we cannot complain or expect to move forward in a negative fashion because of something we do not have. So what God gave us is what we are allowed to use to capacity. Now I could go a lot of ways with that, but doing push-ups is the least expensive way to gain muscle mass and to get into shape. Herschel Walker, who ran for a government official here recently in Georgia, but was an excellent college football player for the University of Georgia, toted the football wearing the number 34. Very strong, very powerful. And from what I heard, I don't know, I can't confirm it because I wasn't there, but I heard he did 100 push-ups, 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups a day. So if he never lift weights at all, then he had a lot of muscle mass. Some of it could have been natural, but the push-ups increased the muscle mass. If you don't have weights or a program to run, you don't have a trainer, you don't have a coach at this point, and you happen to catch a glimpse of this video, the one thing you can do for yourself is push-ups. You only start counting doing push-ups when you get tired. I heard Muhammad Ali say that. And for those that do not know, because I'm not taking anything for granted, y'all play too many games, but Muhammad Ali, arguably, in my opinion, is the best fighter ever. Boxer. Olympics in 1960, 62, 63, 63 became heavyweight champion, beat Sonny Liston, who was listed as the baddest man walking the earth, a guy from the penitentiary. Everybody was afraid of him, had sledgehammers inside of his gloves. But Ali said, I usually fix it so that they ain't got nothing to hit. So that was not an issue for him. And he floated like a butterfly and sting like a bee. But anyway, he actually did push-ups and didn't start counting until he was tired. So, push-ups. So right now, if you're in the 9th grade, and you may not see me possibly until your freshman year of college, if you had been following this video here in the season 3, doing your push-ups consistently, by that time you got to that level, your body would have a natural shape to it, and you wouldn't have to do too much more after that. If you decided to implement weights when you got to the school, that's good too. I'm not a super duper fan of a lot of weights, especially not squats. I think squats do a number on the knees, but there are other things we can do for the legs. You can, if you don't have weights and you want to work on your legs, if you have steps in your house, your apartment, wherever you stay at, if you have a couple of steps, what you could do is up downs. You can go up, down, and if you do not have any steps at all, you can jog in place. If you do not have the ability, or you feel like you don't want to jog in place, you can always do what I call standard squats. You can squat without any weights. You can hold it, come up, and you're just really trying to work your muscles. Doing sit-ups is another suspect exercise, really, because sit-ups, I've heard, and I might need to consult with Coach Parker, I've always thought sit-ups, Coach Parker, by the way, is a great defensive coach in Ohio, and also a very spiritual man, mostly, which is amazing. He's super awesome, and he is an excellent, the best in the country at strength and conditioning. So we would have to ask him, maybe he could comment and put a comment down, coach, for us if you do see this video. I'm always thinking, Coach, about things that the student athlete can do right now in the off season if they do not have a full-fledged weight program